Hey, what's up? What's up, everyone? I'm back. Let me break it up a little bit, okay? Let me see what's going on here. It's just the evening, and I'm just trying to get everything Gucci because it's getting late. Look, the sun done went down. Not that it's a sundown town. Let me tell you something, okay? It's a little dark. Let me turn the light up. It's like I'm just like trying to understand, you know. I'm trying to understand. Are we not looking for understanding in this world? I'm looking for a little bit of understanding. As I've been living here a while, okay? I've been living here since I was born. So it's just trying to understand, like, there's so many people that came from all over the place. They came from all over the place. Tuna. And they had to learn a few little things when they got here. You know? Now, I mean, like, this is what brings us together. Understanding each other. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. To understand each other just a little bit. Okay? And just enough that we can all have an understanding. We can all show a little compassion, a little respect. Greet each other in the morning. You know? Okay. All right. Let's talk about something real. Okay? Today, we're going to talk about real things. This is serious. People come to America they come from all over the world, okay? Right? Different cultures, different languages, different backgrounds. And that's part of what makes this country what it is. But here's the thing. Even with all this diversity, communication still matters. I know that's weird, right? We still have to be able to understand each other. And I'm not talking about being perfect. And I'm not talking, nobody's expecting any perfection. All right? Nobody's asking you to sound like you were born here. I don't expect that. Not at all. Okay? But there's a difference between not being perfect and not trying at all. I know that there's probably there's a little animosity in the city against what's going on in politics or with the government. But I don't have anything to do with that. I'm just a normal person trying to survive in New York City. Okay? There's nothing, it's just so simple. It's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing big, no big deal. But, it doesn't hurt to be able to say stuff like, please. Please. And thank you. Right? And excuse me. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying learn all these languages. All of you don't have to know everything, but here you can at least learn that. Please, thank you, and excuse me. You want to go a little further? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. That's it. You can go so far with just a little bit of manners. Okay? And that's not about language skills. That's about respect. Okay? Now let's get right into it. A lot of people move to this country but some people move to other countries. Sometimes even Americans move to other countries. Not just about America. Okay? Isn't it kind of common to sense, to at least try to learn the basics of how people walk around, expecting everybody to just adjust completely to everything that I'm thinking? Can you imagine that? If we're living in a world where everybody just has to adjust to how you feel and how you think, your vernacular. You just have to just pick it up and survive. We don't do that to people. So how would it feel if somebody does it to us? I mean, think about it. Okay? If I move somewhere else, say I move there. If I move somewhere else, and I don't speak the language, what's going to happen? I'm not going to get anywhere. It's going to be a lot of issues. Now, say you move somewhere and you've been living here for over 15, 20 years and you still don't know. You don't want to know. Sometimes you don't want to know. And if it's hard, there's sign language. Sign language. You do sign language. Jeez. That's the universal, if anything, right? And we have these little logos, but let me tell you, people can tell the difference between someone struggling but trying and someone who just doesn't care. Okay? Because I could say gracias or I could say gracias or gracias. Okay, right? I could say de nada or de nada. You can tell when people like want to be fools or they don't want to learn. Like, once you know somebody's over 20, 30 years old, that's an old dog. They couldn't learn. They just didn't want to. So I'm walking around in a store today asking for it. And this is a supermarket where you're supposed to be able to buy food, you know? I'm walking around in the store and the people that's trying to help me don't speak English. Great. I get over it. I get to the register. No English. It was like everybody talking, no English. Now the one that's supposedly speak English, she smiled, she greet, no English. You make it look like you know what you're talking about, but you don't. And the sentences don't make any sense. But I'm sure if we looked at the resume, it says bilingual. Oh la la, she's bilingual. We're all bilingual, aren't we? I know a little French. I'm bilingual too now. I'm ne du fromage. Don't make no sense. So let's talk about everyday situations, because that's what happened to me. I'm just trying to buy some milk and eggs. Isn't that an everyday situation you should be able to get done? You walk in the store. Everything's normal. Looks great. Food smells good. All of a sudden, you try to order food. You're asking for help. Now imagine there's zero effort to communicate. No basic English. No attempt. No gesture. Nothing. what happens? Confusion, frustration, awkwardness. Not because someone doesn't speak perfectly. No. But because there's no bridge, right? There's no bridge being built at all. Nothing. They're not even trying to sound the word out. They're just looking at you like, that's what I deal with every single day. And I don't know if they think nobody can see them, but we can see you. If you pay attention next time you go to the store. And you'll notice how they treat one customer versus the other. Especially when it's somebody, they don't have to know them. They could just be from their country. Just imagine, you from New York, and you are in California somewhere, and I don't know, somebody see you, it's like, oh, it's from New York. Oh, give a little favoritism. My peoples. No. Next thing you know, like facts. Okay. Let me tell you, it's like this. You have to build those bridges. Or else you're going to have issues. That's when the issue starts. When there's no bridge, there's going to be an issue. It's going to be some frustration, confusion. You don't even know what they're talking about. Even when they do speak English, it's like, don't even make no sense because we don't talk about that. We might know what the cart before the horse mean, but they have their own jargon going on out there. Right? It's not just about language, though. It's about consideration. Have to have a little consideration for other people, especially if you work in customer care. Okay? If you work in customer service, you can't just not put in any effort and expect everyone else to put in all these efforts to help you. And don't say you don't need any help. You're here. We're all here together. You're not going to make no separate anything. It's all together. Unity. All right? Unity states. Write that down. Unity states. That's where we're at. We're at the unity states. Okay? So think about it, okay? Like, let me be clear, all right? I have to be clear because I don't want anybody thinking it's this way or that way. No. All right? Let's be clear. This can go both ways. Respect is not one-sided, okay? I'm not going to just sit here and suggest everybody just learn English. It's not that easy. You can't just learn English. Just like I can't just learn French. But I can say oui and no. You know what I'm saying? Fromage. I love fromage. You can learn something. You don't have to learn everything. Just enough to show that you took a little interest in somebody else's culture. I mean, come on. Is it that much to ask? You tasting the water. You eating the chicken. You at the barbecue. You can't put in a little bit of effort? I don't get it. All right? But let me tell you, we want to try to give some patience. That's what we've been doing. Giving all the patience, waiting. But it's that stern, disdain look on you guys' faces. I'm telling you, they be looking like, Like, I wish I would learn English. Like, I'm telling you, whatever you got going on with this guy over here or the one upstairs, I don't have nothing to do with that. I'm just looking for communication. What you're doing is creating confusion, isolation and discrimination. You know what you could call it? By not never wanting to learn a single English word, you can call yourself a bully. You might as well call yourself a bully. I was in the store. This lady, she was shopping. She was ahead of me, right? She put her items down. The lady, she got all these little plastic bags. She putting everything in the little plastic bag. Then you gonna put that in a little plastic bag. Then they gonna sit there and talk for a minute. And it's like this, that, and the third. And she's slow. Now, if it was me, after she done switched my thing across the way, she's not gonna help me pack a bag. She's not gonna offer me to go buy a bag. She's not gonna do a dang thing. She's just gonna look away. Like she got an attitude like that. That's what they do. And it's crazy. It's only one kind of people that get hired there. Just only Spanish people working in the supermarket. They're all fair. I mean, the security is like African dudes. It's African. Whatever. But I'm like, whatever. They all need to learn a little something, a little bit. Got all these buttons, like you don't have to learn anything. You're dealing with the public and you don't have to learn any English. This is not Fresh Direct. You're directly talking to customers and nobody can ask you nothing because you don't understand a word that we're saying. I'm really getting tired of seeing people in positions. Professors, doctors, psychologists, and they can't read, or they don't know about this or that, or they really don't know anything about philosophy. And I'm sitting there talking to them like, oh, you're an idiot. How did you get your degree? They're getting these degrees online or wherever they're going to be nurses, doctors, and everything else, and they don't know anything beyond a high school education. How did you get a degree? How did you become a doctor when all you have is this small little bit of education, high school education, and then you immediately what? You started working on hearts on the internet? And you know where they put these people? In the heart of the city. Not Times Square, it's cold there. They'll put it in the Bronx. They spread it out. You'll be surprised how many offices you can walk in. And if you look around good enough, you will find the people who are fraud. You can't type. You can't read. That one plays with his phone all day. It's like everybody's just there. So we need to be like investigating what the hell is going on. Because, okay, even if you're doing good business, it seems like, oh, it's going well. Do you know it could get better? If the service was better, you could double your income. If the service was better. If the service was better, you could pay your employees more. It might need you might have to fire 3 people. It might be a bad influence. In New York City, whatever you was going through in your country, dealing with discrimination or racism, we're not doing that here. At least not like you think. You just look wild. Everybody's like, what was that? Okay. So People should be patient. People should be understanding. People shouldn't mock or disrespect someone trying to learn. Nobody's going to laugh at you, okay? So what? You don't know everything. Just try. And you go and do like I said. Just smile. Whatever. So, after the lady was just like going on and on and on, and she finished, that was my turn, right? I'm talking to the lady. She bring everything up really, really fast or whatever. And then I said, "Can I get one of those bags for my bride?" Because she was putting out the lady's stuffing bag. She did like this. And I was like, "What did you roll your eyes for?" She's like she don't know what I'm saying. And everybody's looking like, did she roll her eyes? Yeah, she rolled her eyes. So then after that, I'm like putting myself in the thing, and I'm like telling her, like, look, you really need to learn a little basic, like, please, thank you, excuse me, and stuff. And that was just because I had it up to here. Because before all of that even occurred, while I was standing in line, and I was next in line, that means if another register opened up, she's supposed to tell me I can go to the next register, not the person behind me. But what she did was she said in Spanish the other register is open. Abierto. So she didn't want no English people to get off of that line. That's why she made her announcement in Spanish. So I corrected her on that first and foremost. I said, next time you make an announcement, do it in English and Spanish. Or else it just seems like you're only speaking to certain people. She's like, yeah, that's right. I'm here too. Hi. The hell? What am I, chopped liver? Hi, I'm over here too. And then as I'm standing there, I started thinking, like, because really, like, if anything, I was supposed to be next, not the person behind me. And it's like, I understand Spanish, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. It was just crazy. Like, I don't like when people do that. That's really rude and selfish. I'm already having an issue when I go into a place of business. There'll be flyers everywhere, opportunities, places that you could get free certification, degrees, license free. Gratis, right? It's all in Spanish. Or maybe it's in German. Or maybe it's in Chinese. You never know, depending on the location that you're in. Okay? Because there's areas like, I don't know, maybe like Little Italy or like in Eastern Parkway is like Jewish community over there. Or if if you go a little deeper in Queen Ozone Park, you won't understand what's going on. But guess what? We have cell phones. And I don't know about you, but I've been learning a little bit about a little bit of every language and a little bit about every culture. We're supposed to understand each other. We're all here together. Our kids going to school together. They're going to grow up and work together. So there is absolutely no reason for you to feel like, oh, I don't want to learn a bit of English. If you don't want to learn anything, you can leave. Okay? It's bad enough you don't understand the culture. You don't even watch the movies. So you know. You know what I'm saying? Look, we're going to try to be patient. But if there's no effort, then let's call a spade a spade. All right? It's like meeting halfway, okay? One side shows patience, the other side shows effort. That's how things work, okay? Now, here's where it gets even more important. If you're working a job that deals with the public, that changes things. Because now it's not just about your personal life. It's about service. Okay? Because look, if you're interacting with customers, right? There should be the basic ability, or at least the real effort, to communicate with them. And there are apps, especially if you're working in the supermarket, because it seems like every cashier speaks Spanish and she doesn't speak any English. There's an app that will show you how to change from manzana or whatever to apple. They have picture and everything, so you know what this is what it is in Spanish and this is what it is in English. There's an app for it. But it seemed like y'all don't even want to learn anything. So how the hell are you supposed to help me? You can't help me. You don't understand anything I'm saying. I'm sitting here talking to myself. Okay? You gotta call your people, your friends, and everybody else, but you said you was bilingual. We need to retract all that bilingual BS because, like, us Americans, we need to put out people for saying they bilingual, and when we're talking to them, they like, get to care, how do you say, look, call the supervisor, let them know, look, this person does not speak English. Okay? We've been helping people get by so much so they just put on their resume all the time. Bam, bilingual. Doo-doo. No, damn well you don't speak no English at all. Always talking about hi guys. That's all you know how to say. Hi guys. You don't speak no English. So then you come see me. You see me, and you think you're gonna fake like you can speak English? You've been saying hi guys for so long. What else is there to say? That's all you got? That's as much effort? You go home, you go watch TV, that's all you got. That's all you got. You've been here for 7 years, that's all you got for me, right? 7 years. Your kids is learning English. And you still, what you do? You speak English in private somewhere? What's going on? I'm trying to understand. Okay? But like I said, we need to start outing people that saying that they speak English and they don't. Because us Americans, we're sitting here suffering and we're not understanding a single word that they're saying. Now all the flyers is not in English. What makes you think I don't read? You think I don't want a paper? You think I don't want something free too? I do. You know? Like, and then like with companies, like if it's going to be Spanish on one side, it's English on the other side, French on one side, you know, Chinese on the other side, and don't forget Arabic. Like, people need to like understand. Like, there's so much going on. Like, whatever happened to like, you know, Braille? Where is it? It's not really everywhere anymore like you would want it to be. It needs to expand. Things need to expand. Communication needs to expand, and it's not. This creates situations where people feel ignored. All right? People feel dismissed. Just imagine, okay? Like the disabled community, they feel dismissed. You know how long they've been like suffering? Like elevators, right? Everybody wants to ride the subway. Nobody really thinks how much work it takes to get a wheelchair onto a train. You just sit there getting mad that, it's going to take, we got to wait so you could get to this part of that part. You don't know how much people go through just to try to create like a little peace in their life. You know, you just want to relax, and it's like you can't really relax when it's all this confusion and frustration. You know, who wants to wake up one day, 75 years old, walking out of your Brooklyn apartment, and nobody speaks English, and nobody knows a single thing, and all the signs is in some other language? I don't want that. Okay? Not at all. So that stubbornness, it's gonna go away easy, because you know what? The youth are learning. They're learning multiple languages in school. You know, we really need to elevate. There's other countries where everybody knows 5 languages, and we're so behind. I feel like we're so behind in learning, but it takes a lot of communication from both sides. Everyone needs to start communicating better with each other. Then you'll have a better understanding. Okay? When you don't do that, it comes off as disrespectful. It comes off as you don't care, even if that's not the intentions. Okay? So let's talk about something a little deeper right now. All right? When service or kindness starts depending on language or background, that's a problem. Because now we're not just talking about communication. Okay? We're talking about fairness. Every customer deserves the same level of respect. Okay? Not one person gets smiles and help and the other one gets ignored and brushed aside. All right? Because that's what I dealt with today. It creates a division amongst people. You know? And we all notice that. It's like, but sometimes we just don't talk about these things. Even a small difference in tone, attention, or willingness to help, they add up. You know? I can ask you if you would like some ice cream. Or I could say, would you like some ice cream? There's a big difference. Yeah. Because when I asked the lady for the bag today, she rolled her eyes up to the sky and she got the bag while she had her lips tucked in. Tightly like a Karen, she tucked them lips in. Not good to show emotions at work. America is built on many cultures, okay? And that's a known fact. We're the United States, okay? But here's the balance people don't always talk about. You can bring your culture with you and still adapt to the place you're living in. Yeah. It's not one or the other. You don't have to lose who you are, okay? But you also can't ignore where you are. The balance is what keeps things running smoothly. Yes. And you can't grow if you don't try. You can learn. You know, you could be having a cordial conversation with one of your customers, and then you will start learning things. You'll start learning English better. But, you know, it's no point in lying because you create a whole bunch of confused customers. Because you don't speak not a lick of English, and nobody else does. Everybody's confused. And you in charge, but you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. Right? Gracias. All right? No, that's not how it's going to work. No. Okay? You don't know how many opportunities a lot of people lost because they weren't bilingual. And, you know, oftentimes I wonder if bilingual is just a secret code of discrimination where you just want to hire certain people. Because I walk into these places and nobody knows nothing. Y'all all on holiday. Really, everything really needs to be investigated. We got to turn all the bed sheets over and see what the hell's going on in this world. Okay? We're not excelling. We're not growing. And everybody's making money, spending money, you know, out with the old and with the new. Eat some food, come out your butt. What's going on? What's next? What are we exactly doing here? Because it seems like everybody's just play. They playing too many games. All right? This is not the place to be playing games. And I don't care if you're just here for a time and then you're going to learn something while you're here. It's respect. Okay? This is not about perfection. Nobody's expecting perfect grammar or perfect pronunciation. Nobody's expecting a perfect sentence. All people are really asking for is effort. Okay? Because effort shows respect, awareness, willingness to connect. And honestly, that goes a long way, people. It does. I mean, if you think about it, times where someone tried to communicate with you, even if they struggled, didn't you appreciate that more? That's human nature. Okay? We respond to effort. We respect effort. All right? We meet effort with effort. Okay? I want to match that effort. You know, now you want to learn some of my language, I want to learn some of yours. Let's do this together. All right? So at the end of the day, this isn't about this isn't about judging anyone at all. Okay? It's not about being harsh. It's about understanding something simple. Respect, courtesy. All right? Should be universal. All right? Not selective. And it's not based on who someone is, where they from, or what language they speak. Okay? But also, respect includes making an effort to communicate with people around you. Right? No matter where you are, making an effort to communicate with the people around you. Because we all share the same space. We're all sharing the same space. Okay? And if we're going to live together, work together, and interact every day, communication matters. Effort matters. Respect matters. All right? So just keep that in mind when you're out in this world. And we're giving grace to those who don't understand, but you can tell by the look on some people's face that they don't care. So it's important to know the difference. And if you're ever in a tough situation, like you're in the office and this person is supposed to be able to speak to you in English and they can't, and this is the only English speaking person that doesn't speak English, report it. Let their supervisor know. Or maybe they don't know. Tell somebody further up along the line. This is weird. It doesn't make any sense. You know, they make all these advertisements looking for employees and they must be bilingual, must be bilingual. I need to see if you must speak English because I am still living here and I'll be living here all my life. And I don't want to wake up at 75, 80 years old and I don't know how the language to buy a Pepsi. Okay? That's all I'm saying. But other than that, I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, okay? Because I'm certainly going to do that, okay? You know, life's too short to be like dwelling about small things or small minds. And at the end of the day, if we're willing to grow and glow, then we're going to put those efforts in. There's apps. We have Google Translate. We have Apple. If you're hiring employees to work in the food industry, there's an app that will teach them how to say the food in different languages and how to greet their customers. And if you have employees working in telemarketing and advertising, there's an app for that too. So they can work on their greetings and their rebuttals. Okay? There's an app for everything. Now, just remember to give grace to those who come here and they really don't understand. I understand it can be awkward trying to speak a language and you don't know what the hell, like, I don't know what you're saying. But we also can communicate without even saying a single word. Right? Right. Right. We can. We can do that. We can do that. We can do that. We can do that. It's very easy. Right? I don't know what else to tell you, but much love and deuces. See you guys later. And have a wonderful evening, people.